Did you know that 75% of people feel physically exhausted, even after getting what they think is a decent amount of sleep? And nearly 80% of employees have experienced burnout in their current job. And burnout often starts long before you feel that first wave of exhaustion. And it has everything to do with some pretty boring basics, if I'm being honest, that we all ignore. I'm talking sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement. I mean, when was the last time that you slept a solid 7 hours or more? Or drank more than 2 glasses of water in a day? Or ate something that wasn't a quick grab and go snack? If you're struggling to remember, you're in good company. And by good company, I mean that club where everyone is running on empty and wondering why the hell they're constantly tired and stressed. So that's what we're talking about today. How to stop burnout before it drags you under and brings you down, and why it starts with something a lot simpler than you think. Hey, I'm Tara Kermiet, your burnout and balance coach, and I am happy you stopped in today. This channel's all about helping overachievers stay balanced and badass with practical tips, a little bit of humor, and some tough love sometimes. So if you're looking to simplify your schedule, to set boundaries, and build habits that create the breathing room you need, you're in the right place, my friend. Hit subscribe and let's get you living your best badass life. Okay, so let's set the scene here. It's Monday morning and you've barely slept because, of course, you were up late Sunday night catching up on work and emails and probably doom scrolling. You roll out of bed, pour yourself that giant cup of coffee, and try to convince yourself that you are ready to face the day. By noon, you're feeling that familiar brain fog because you've skipped breakfast. And you're debating whether to just power through with another espresso shot instead of having lunch. Been there? I see you. Maybe you're telling yourself that it's just one of those weeks or that you'll catch up on sleep later. But let me tell you, if I had a nickel for every time someone said, I'll sleep when I'm dead, I probably have enough money for a nice little tropical vacation. The truth is, you won't be dead, but you will be burned out, cranky, and wondering why you can't seem to focus on anything. Sounds to me like you're ignoring the most fundamental things your body needs. And friend, if you don't address these, you are absolutely going to hit a wall. And trust me, I know a thing or two about that wall, and it's not fun. So let's start with sleep because it's always the first thing to go. We stay up late, wake up early, and convince ourselves that we'll catch up on sleep later. But if you're constantly cutting sleep short, you're not just tired, you're actively sabotaging your brain. And before you try to tell me that you are fine with 5 hours, I'm just going to stop you right there because you are not fine. You might be surviving, but you are certainly not thriving. You're more like your phone that's stuck at 10% battery. You're running, but not for long, and definitely not at full power. Sure, you can keep it on power saving mode, but that means no background apps, no GPS, just the bare minimum for your phone. And if you think that sounds like a good way to live your life, I hope you'll think again. Your brain needs real, uninterrupted sleep to do its job, like regulating your emotions and helping you make good decisions. When you don't get that deep sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the part that handles complex thinking and decision making, it struggles. While your amygdala, which is your emotional center, it goes into overdrive. So you end up being more impulsive, easily irritated, and let's be honest, probably not the best person to be around. Studies have shown that sleep-deprived individuals are up to 60% more reactive to negative stimuli. So if you're finding yourself snapping at your coworkers or forgetting why you walked into a room, that's your brain on sleep deprivation. Sleep is a non-negotiable for anyone who wants to perform well at work or be present for their family and loved ones. You can't replace it with caffeine, and you definitely can't catch up on it over the weekend. Sleep is about consistency, getting those 7 to 9 hours every night to keep your brain and body running smoothly. Then there's food. I mean, come on. You can't live off snacks and coffee. I know it's tempting to skip meals when you're slammed at work, but that's just setting yourself up for failure. We both know how that ends. It ends up being 3 p.m. and your head is pounding, your hands are shaky, and once again, you're snapping at anyone who dares to look at you the wrong way. You, my friend, are hangry. And when you skip breakfast or lunch, your blood sugar tanks. And with it, so does your ability to concentrate and stay productive. Have you ever heard of hypoglycemia? It's a fancy word for what happens when your blood sugar drops too low. And the symptoms? Oh, my friend, you know them well. Irritability, brain fog, and that sudden urge to crawl under your desk for a nap. Studies have shown that low blood sugar can impair cognitive function and decision-making skills, making it a lot harder to get through your afternoon meetings without zoning out. Your body and brain need fuel, and that sugary granola bar ain't gonna cut it. You need foods that keep your blood sugar stable, like protein, such as eggs, chicken, or even tofu. Healthy fats like avocados, nuts, and olive oil, and complex carbs like grains or veggies. These are the kinds of foods that take longer to digest, which means they provide steady energy throughout the day. Not only will you avoid the post-lunch crash, but you'll also find yourself thinking more clearly and getting more done without feeling like you're dragging yourself through mud. When you start actually feeding yourself properly, your energy levels don't yo-yo as much, and you can make it through the day without feeling like you need that nap under your desk. Hydration is another thing we all love to ignore until we're dragging ourselves around, wondering why we feel like a dried up sponge. We all know we're supposed to drink water, but it's also one of the easiest things to forget when you're busy. Think about it. When was the last time that you drank a glass of water that didn't come with your coffee or some other sugary drink? Even mild dehydration can mess with your concentration, with your mood, and your overall energy. And I'm not talking here about like desert level dehydration. I'm just talking about like a 1 to 2% drop in your body's water levels, which can start to mess with your ability to focus. And let's be real, because most of us aren't at that 1 to 2% dehydration. We're more like several cups of water behind. I used to think I was just tired all the time and dealing with these annoying headaches because I was busy and, life is stressful. But surprise, surprise, it turns out I was just really bad at drinking water. So now I carry around what I lovingly call my emotional support water bottle with me everywhere. It's amazing what happens when you start carrying around a water bottle and actually drink from it. Suddenly you're less tired, you're less cranky, and bonus points, your skin might even start to look less like a lizard, so that's cool. Lastly, let's talk about movement. Now, you don't have to train for a marathon or become a gym rat necessarily, but you do have to move. I'm talking about taking a walk, doing a stretch, or even just standing up from your desk every once in a while. See, our bodies weren't designed to sit for 8 hours straight or more, hunched over a laptop like we do, looking like a question mark. When you sit all day, your muscles tighten, your circulation slows down, and your energy levels take a hit. And we've all been there, feeling stiff, foggy-headed, and once again, ready for that damn nap by 3 p.m. It's not just in your head. Sitting for long periods is actually linked to a host of issues, including back pain, poor posture, and increased stress levels. Movement helps clear your head, reduce that stress, and honestly, sometimes just getting outside for 5 minutes can give you a surprising bump in energy. And it's not just me saying this. There's plenty of research backing it up. According to the American Psychological Association, even short bursts of physical activity can boost your mood and help with cognitive performance. We're talking as simple as a quick stretch or a 10-minute walk. It's not rocket science. And if you're still skeptical, there's evidence from Harvard Health that shows that regular movement, even light activities like standing and walking, can help reduce the risk of chronic illness and improve overall mental health. So if your idea right now of movement is that 15-step trek it takes to get to your coffee machine, it might be time to rethink that strategy. The bottom line here is this. Burnout doesn't just happen because you've got too much on your plate. Sure, we all have packed schedules, endless emails, and responsibilities that are coming at us from every freaking direction. But that's not the whole story. Burnout creeps up because in the middle of juggling all of those things, you're not taking care of the basics. You're ignoring the things that keep you alive and functioning. I know it's not sexy and it definitely won't fix the burnout completely, but if you start focusing on things like your sleep, your hydration, what you're eating, and how you're moving, I guarantee you'll start to feel human again. And when you feel more like yourself, you've got the energy and the clarity to tackle those bigger issues that come with burnout, like rethinking your priorities or setting better boundaries. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, go to bed an hour earlier. Tomorrow morning, actually eat breakfast. Something with protein, please, not just a donut. And drink a glass of water before you reach for that coffee. Then take 10 minutes to move around, even if it's just dancing in your kitchen or vacuuming your living room. And if you're wondering just how close you are to full-on burnout, take the free burnout quiz on my website. It's quick and easy, and it'll give you a snapshot of where you're at right now. You might be closer to full-on burnout than you think, or maybe you're good and you're catching it early enough to make some changes before it gets worse. Either way, the quiz will give you a better sense of where you stand and what you need to work on next. I'll be sure to link it in the description below. And that's all I got for you today. Remember to prioritize the things your body's been begging you for. And if this episode hit home for you, or maybe you know someone who's been feeling the effects of burnout, I hope you'll share this with them because it's really a way to show them that you care. We've got to stop pretending burnout is just part of life and really start doing something about it together. Until next time, stay balanced, stay badass, and make good choices, friend. I'll see you next week.